All right, so today it's time to lock up the rear diff on my W900 Kenworth. And so we're just going to be locking this differential here, so it's just locked all the time. It'd be nice to have remote lockers, but this is the inexpensive way to do it. And I'm all for inexpensive right now because I'd like to save my money for some other equipment. And any loss of maneuverability that I'll have by locking the rear diff out will more than be made up with the gain in traction. So we'll start by just taking off our rear wheels. And I got new stickers I put on too. So got rid of the King Holler brand and put my own brand on there. Dig It RC, looked real good. I got those from caligraphics.com. I just emailed her with what I wanted, the size, font and everything, and she got me exactly what I wanted, so that's pretty awesome. All right, so now we just got to get our axle off of here so that we can open this guy up. So we'll take a few little items off of here. Get our, that's a good fit. Our spring off. I want to take this screw here off. It too just has a nut on the shoulder screw. And I'll just we'll do the same thing to the other side. My magnetic, I don't want to lose any of that stuff. Take our spring off. And what was frustrating with this was even on concrete, if this thing got at an angle, that front end tip forward, I would lose traction on both axles. And that is frustrating, getting stuck on concrete. So we will fix that issue. At least now if I get stuck, it will be more reasonable that it got stuck instead of frustrating. All right, so now what we're going to do, I got the rear diff out of there. Level my truck out over here. Okay, so we got to get this to come apart. So we'll take these guys off of here. Okay, so now we just have our axle. Let's grab a cloth here. Clean this up just a little bit. We're going to try and keep some of the dirt out of the differential if possible. When we got it apart, we'll look at it, see if we need to throw any grease in there. I built this back in early 2020. I've actually run it quite a bit. Do some long hauls down the sidewalk. But here we go. I really like this truck. I just don't like it not having locking diffs, because there are so many times when if it just was locked, it wouldn't get stuck. Or at least be a lot less likely to get stuck. I don't remember if any of these are a different length. If we find one that's a different length, we'll just note where it's at. These are almost as much fun taking apart as they are putting together. All right, well, let's open this diff up and see what we've got here. Okay, so looking nice and clean. Looks like we can use a little more grease in there. It's not bad. Still can see some lubrication on there, but we'll definitely throw more on while we have it apart. Okay, so we'll pull this guy out of here now. This is what we're after, because you can see that's your differential effect, so both sides will spin. So if this is rotating your axle, it will only spin one of these guys at a time. If one gets traction and one doesn't, the one without traction will just break loose. So we'll pull those axles out of there like so. And now we're going to get greasy. All right, so now, let's see if we get this thing to focus. we need to get into the actual differential. Grab my right size Allen wrench here. Okay, we'll just take these guys off of here. If we don't lose anything, we'll be able to go back together a lot faster too. All right. Just had to break that seat. Okay. Good. Looks like that could use a little bit more grease too. Not that, actually, if I'm locking it, I don't need any more grease in there. All right, so what I'm going to do, pull this guy out of here, and I'm just going to take one of these. All right, so we'll leave those in there. And then we're going to take that one that I just pulled out of there. And I'm going to just kind of marry it with these other ones right here. All right, so we got that other gear that's right there. All right, and then we'll just get everything to seat nicely if we can in here. If you talk really nice to it, you'll get things to work for you. Okay, what I want to do is hold that together. I'm going to give this just a little jiggly. Oh man, I'm dropping locking rings here. Oh, it broke. Oh man. Look at that, my C-clip. I'll have to see if I have any of those C-clips laying around because that one just broke. That's what's holding my bearings on there. That's not good. All right, so let's now put this back together. Try to get some of that grease off my hands. Remember not to touch my truck and get it all greasy. All right, go home, Screw. I know you want to go home. Maybe it doesn't want to go. There she is. We won't tighten it tight. So all of them are started. I'll just go through and start tightening those up. Okay. All right. Just wipe this down just a little bit. Okay. Don't need to wipe all the grease off because we're going to just be putting more grease on there. Try and get some off of our hands here though. Okay, then we'll just put our differential. Back in there. Get our long axle in. Maybe I'll put it in the right way. That always helps out. Get all turned around. Maneuver and everything. There we go. Okay, our bearings are seated. Seated there, seated there. I just don't have my pin there. But I don't necessarily need it just quite yet. I can put that together. Still get that clip on there. Wipe more grease off so that I can put more grease on. So what I'm going to do is grab me some Utter butter, some nice grease here. And I just want to get some on the gears here. Just while you got things apart, even if it doesn't really need it, might as well just throw a little bit of grease on there. It's maintenance. We like to do maintenance. Not really, but it does help things to last longer. Oh, yeah. Okay. That looks bueno. I like that. Okay. Done with our grease. Try and wipe the excess off here. And now I think we can put our housing back together. Okay. Nice fit on our housing. Now when I spin, even if I hold the other, it'll spin both. Love it. Yes. Locked up differential. Always nice when that's what you're going for. Okay. We'll get one of our mains in here. Go opposite of that one. And you can get metal diffs, you can get locking, you can all kinds of different cool stuff for these trucks that you can customize them. You can get metal housings, metal differentials, metal. You can get the ones with the diff lock and everything on them, but it all costs lots of money. So this is just a demonstration of how you can do it the cheap way with what you already have as part of the vehicle. eventually I'd like to do some upgrades to some of my trucks, especially the dump truck I've got, my Arocs, that Mercedes, I think it's the 3348. I'd like to lift it. I'd like to change out the electric lifting mechanism and go with the hydraulic. So that's something I'm contemplating, because I'm getting ready on my new project that we'll be doing. I'm going to be doing some highway dump truck running. So I'd like it to not take so long to dump my load. And the Tamiya dump truck, it takes 50 seconds for it to reach full height from level to full dump. It's 50 seconds. Same on the downstroke, 50 seconds to get it down. So that's like almost 2 minutes. I'll have to be doing a lot of video editing to make it not so boring when I get that project going here. So I might change that out to hydraulic before I get rolling too much on that. Okay, so we're locked up. I need to find a C-clip. Ta-da! Got one. It's always nice when you find something sitting around that you need. Oh, just don't break it and don't lose it. Though, because it's the only one I've got. Oh, I need my little screwdriver. Straight. Okay. Very good. On there. Locked, just like it's supposed to. Match the other side. Now I'm gonna finish putting this thing back together before I forget what I'm doing. All right, so get these guys back in here. That's with this plate. Here. I'll put this screw. Try not to cross thread. There we go, nice and smooth. Okay. I'll get this other side going. Okay. All right, so we got those on. And let's see, what's next? I think we need to mount it to the truck. Let's see, get some of my parts that fell. My hubs. Get rid of my broken pieces. Throw those away. Okay, can't forget to put our little drive shaft in there. Such a mighty drive shaft. All right, we'll start with the side over here. Yeah, I'm gonna clean this up. I'll add a little lube. So I'll just take my grease and a little dab there, a little dab there. And then we'll stick that shaft right in there. Line that up, get that in there. Okay. And to hold it in place. I think we'll just get these springs mounted up first. Grab our shoulder screw, slide it through. Grab one of these with the pliers. I'm upside down. Why'd you guys let me do that? Let me get all upside down. Love it. It's like, no wonder that shock won't fit. Okay. Let's just give this a spin here. Hold on, so I don't have to redo that shock again. Let's make sure it's up where it's supposed to be. It should go in place now. Okay. That looks better. Checking rotation just to make sure that doesn't bite me. I've been beaten by that before. Put my loader back together after making a repair because one of the gears broke in the planetary system in the wheel hub. Had the differential out, get it all back together. Front axles are turning opposite of the back axles. I was going nowhere fast with that. So, I've learned to check your differentials and the rotation before getting everything together. Alright. So that one's good. Okay, that one's good. Just want to verify that I'm tight here. Alright, get my last pieces. Yay! Got it right this time. Hoorah! Alright, this thing spun around. Okay. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Let's get our shock. Yeah, there won't be any problem getting it rotated up there. course, you can see here a little bit. All right, and let's get the shock up here. Our shock mount, brass, coming in the back side. Spin that around. Got our screw. Boom. All right. Now, I'll wipe my hands off again here a little bit more. Get our hubs. These have a geared side, of course. So you put the geared side in, get it on the splines. We'll do that to both of these. Okay. Slide our wheels on. All right, last bit of business. Get these guys hooked up. Or wheel hubs. Yeah, you can get aluminum rims for these and everything. So one day I might do some more upgrades to this truck. I've done little bits and pieces, you know, the metal fenders, quarter fenders here, and of course my antennas are an upgrade. My visor, that's metal, as well as my front bug guard, that's metal. I love those. So just, I mean, the little things that start going into this truck that just really make it stand out for me. I look at some older pictures of it and it's like, man, I cannot believe how much of a difference those little details make it look. And so you can customize these things and really make them your own. Make it to how you like it. Not everybody has to do things the same way. You know, that's why you have options. So just do whatever works well for you. That's what I like about customizing these things. It's like, what looks good? What do I want? Okay. Boom. Locked up tight. Look at that. So now, see this one, I can, when I spin, I can hold this one tire in place on the front axle. But you can't do that with this one. It's going to spin no matter what, both sides. So that leaves this one open. So I don't think there'll be any need to lock that one up. If it proves troublesome in the future, I just might do that. But I just locked up the rear on the dump truck, and that really helped the dump truck out a lot. So I'm going to go with that, try it out, and see if that solves most of my issues. But anyway, thanks for joining me for that little modification to my W900 Kenworth. And we'll get back to work. Thanks, guys.